White, isquistia mox, in chakin and at tamitwa, in tulmi squists any tamitwa, utlin mistami squists Matthew Ives, in chakin snight, ukna kain, shin squashu, shin buir, nusk I am. So my name is Annette Tamitwa. My parents are Annie Tamitwa and Matthew Ives, and I am Lake Okanagan, Wenatchee, San Paul, and Port Gamble, Skalala. So I am the language curriculum coordinator for the next few days. I am going to be moving next week, and I just wanted to do this video because I was supposed to do a training with another school district, and there was interest in a video from community members on how to access our CCT language materials. So that's what this video is all about, is kind of navigating our CCT website to access the Inselchin, Inhamchin, and Titoktempt materials. So I'm going to hop over to share my screen. Let's see here. So the first thing we're going to do is hop on over to our CalvoTribes.com website. So once you get there, you're going to go to culture, and this menu pops up, and you're going to go all the way down to the bottom and hit language. This is a good spot because it shows you our languages on the Colville tribes, or within our Colville Confederated tribes and bands. So we have Inselchin, which is Okanagan Salish, which is Southern Interior Salish. And these are the tribes and bands that speak Inselchin. We have Titoktempt, which is our Nez Perce language. And we have Inhamchin, which is the Moses Columbia Southern Interior Salish language as well. More southern than Inselchin. Anyway, these are the tribes and bands that speak those. And then these are some super basic curriculum books that we put together in my time here. And they're really super basic resources, but good ones for just starting out. So I want to show you guys those real quick. Sorry if my background's all crazy. So every one of our 3 language books is going to look like this. Title page, thank you to those who have worked in our program and made language revitalization possible. And then this table of contents, which is all the word or vocab lists that we have through each book. So all 3 books have a kinship, all 3 have greetings, all 3 have foods, yada yada. And so there are 20 in each one. But the vocab lists do change between, just because not everything is able to translate in between all 3 language groups. Anyway, there's going to be a little blurb and then a word list with each one. So the reason I wanted to show you guys this is because in every language group, you can click here on these little ones. I don't know why the big ones aren't hyperlinked, but they aren't, and I don't have access to change this page for anyway. So click the little one, and it'll bring you to the Inselchin page. And so this is the landing page for this. These are our staff. Not all of them. We haven't updated this, but we have updated our tabs here on the left. So this is how you can also get to the curriculum book, is the Inselchin tab and curriculum. But I also wanted to show you that from this language landing page, let's see here. Oh, we're going to go through the same way. So, because when you get into it, that's when you get here, and the language tabs are on the top. So this is Inhamchin, or Moses Columbia. These are the same, or mostly same tabs, like on the left here for the insulting group, Titoktempt tabs, and Plus, which is our inactive language currently. Just it's not staffed or doesn't really have the resources that our other 3 active languages have here on the reservation. So the reason I want to show you this super basic curriculum book 1 through 20, lessons 1 through 20, is because when you get to this curriculum tab, the book is here, and when you click on it, it is a PDF file, and you can download it, you can print it, and we have copies available here in our language office, and they are kind of nice looking. Hold on, I'm gonna grab one. So we printed these through our planning program, and they're spiral bound, and they have like the nice like plastic cover, and then it's just plain paper, but it's nice to have anyway if you would like a copy. We have those for all 3 languages. And then there are accompanying materials for this basic book. So there is audio for every lesson, and it's downloadable. You can download it to your computer, jump drive, phone, whatever you got. And then there's some of the lessons have pictures for it that accompany that lesson. So this is girl. The girl's mom is a tomb. The girl's dad is a meestum. And you can just go through. And again, this is downloadable, printable. But not every lesson has pictures with it yet. So greetings doesn't have pictures that go with it, but you can download the audio still. Foods, same. We just have a couple that we need to add into there. Colors is pretty easy. I just needed to swap something out, I think, or the language text. But you can make your own colors, visuals if you need to. Animals, yada yada. So everyone has at least audio that goes with it that you can listen to with that lesson to astronomy. And some of them have pictures that you can use in your classroom or however you need to, or with your kids, however. And then I wanted to show you guys this too. This is in all 3 language groups, but it doesn't have as much Titoktempt in it. But this is an indigenous author curriculum to go with like these books that I think our tribe's youth development program distributed to local school districts, but you can buy them probably like online or wherever. And so these are just, they correlate with some, or they have themes to the books. So like that one's water, like water protectors, our resources, and a few are about hair, and there's one about connection. And so I made some like units that go along with these. So every unit, like, so this is water, all about water, has a pre-assessment, a video that goes with it, the books that were distributed, but also these are like, this is another book that I thought could go in that same theme that is you can buy online. And then there's other activities and a post assessment. And like I said, there's not really as much Titoktempt in this, but this is Insulchin. This is an Insulchin language vocab lesson that you could do if you want to, or if you're able to do it, but you don't have to. It's just like an option for you. So I wanted to show you guys that. And then there's this YouTube page that has the videos that are hyperlinked in that PowerPoint. Okay, so again, we're going to go to the Inhamchin page now and go to the curriculum tab. And it's the same book, but just, so it's another, we have these. We can print more through our planning department if you guys need it, but they're available. And there's accompanying materials, the audio, the pictures, audio, pictures, for not all of them, but most of them. And then the same like curriculum resource if you guys are able to do that with your classroom. And to Attempt is the same thing. You're going to go to the curriculum tab. And my computer's loading. It's a Friday. And I don't know why the internet's even slower today, but it is. Or maybe my computer needs a restart. And they have a video first and then the same layout. Book, audio, pictures. So I really wanted to show you everybody that because they are available. And I wanted everyone to know that, you know, even we're the Cabo Confederated Tribes, and it might seem like one thing, we're actually 4 language groups on the reservation, or not on the reservation, but, you know, all packed into the reservation and in the surrounding areas is where we would be at. And then, oh yeah, now I wanted to walk you guys through the different tabs, because not every language group on here is the same. We already talked about that. So let's see here. We when you go through these, you can just kind of explore them when you have time. And there are PDFs that you can download and print. So like this one is like cards. So when I made this, I meant for it to be like printed double-sided. So this is the front and this is the back. And these are kinship terms. So dad, mom, yada yada. So when you print it double-sided and you cut them out, you can play games with them. Here's a kinship crossword. So this goes with the lesson, the kinship lesson from the book. So 2 across would be the word for son. 1 down would be the word for dad. And then like super basic family tree, memory cards. And so this is the Attempt kinship tab. And the Insilchin kinship tab is going to be pretty similar. Let me see here. It's just some of them are in different places, different orders. So more cards, crossword, family tree, memory cards. Insilchin is going to be pretty similar. They have a word list here, along with audio, cards, crossword, same stuff. And then we can go to other tabs, word list, posters that you can print off, more cards. This is like a banner sort of thing. Maybe you'll be able to see it if I, nope, my background thing is like stopping it. Anyway, so if you print it, this is all going to say El Hasht, white, and and it's just how you say hello in all 3 languages. And I thought it would be cute if people wanted to print it and hang it up in their classrooms or their offices or whatever. Cut it out. You got to cut it out too. Yeah, this rectangle thing is like the behind layer. Anyway, there's a whole thing. And I've linked the publisher file if you want to make it bigger or smaller. Okay. Let's see here. Foods is one that's kind of different between all 3. Not all of them have anything. This is just like a placemat for Insilchin. But once you get into this, into all these different tabs, you can kind of just explore and find posters, cards, little printable things that I worked on with my coworkers. They were a huge help in translating all of these. I didn't really do as much as they did. They they had the hard work of translating. I just would brainstorm an idea and then translate it, and sometimes it was hard. This one was hard. There's a lot of formatting stuff, but even though it looks really simple, you know, it took me like a day to get this done across all 3 languages because there was a lot of things, moving parts into this that anyway. So this is available. It's a poster. And in the last curriculum training, it was like somebody requested an astronomy resource, and so this is the quickest thing I could come up with. Anyway, these tabs have all cool sorts of cool stuff. This is for the Insilk gene. It's a free resource. You can download all this audio, and it goes along with the Pete Seymour, the complete Seymour books. And I don't know why it takes you to a way different thing, but it does, which is all good. And some of these pages do have videos that you can practice with instead of just the audio. So like this one is the phone greeting. And so that's available online on our YouTube site or channel. I'm showing my age here. But yeah, so I just want everyone to know that we have all kinds of tabs and all kinds of resources in those tabs. That's my main point I'm trying to hit home with everybody. So I'm going to stop sharing real quick, and I'm going to share my next thing, which is just PowerPoint. And I want you guys to see that there's a lot into making curriculum. I know teachers, daycare workers, Head Start workers, anybody who works with kids knows there's a lot into making materials for your kids. And so these are just some of the tips that I have come across that help me tremendously in making language materials. So first off, sorry, it's not in the slideshow view. Whenever I do that and share it, I just can't make it work. So anyway, Microsoft Publisher is my #1 program that I will use to make language materials because it won't change my font and make it all funky. Like sometimes in PowerPoint, like when you do like a stressed I, then the I will still have the dot and then there's going to be a stress next to it, or the glottals are funky and off to the side. It just bugs me, and sometimes you can't fix it in PowerPoint or whatever. So Microsoft Publisher doesn't do that, so I love it. And then you can move all the pictures and text all however you want to. The next thing would be PowerPoint. It's not the best, but it's better than like if you go to Google Docs and try to do language resources, it just does not turn out that great most of the time. And then Microsoft Word would be after that. And just that, you know, Word is not the funnest when you have pictures and text all in one thing or whatever you need. So I don't use it hardly at all unless it's just a completely just text sort of thing. But if I do have to make incompatible programs work, like with my work computer here, we have like this big humongous like printer that can make big old posters and stuff, and you have to use this program called Poster Artist Lite to like communicate with that printer. So you have to anyway try to put stuff into it, and when you type in it, even if you have the right font, it'll still look funky, like just like Google Docs does for me. So I've had to go into like Microsoft PowerPoint or whatever and take the text box and right click on it and then save it as a picture and then move that picture into the program. And it's super tedious, but if you are needing a big, huge poster or whatever, it works. And it's time consuming, but I guess it's worth it if you can have a nice big poster with language on it. I don't know. There's probably other ways, workaround solutions, yada, yada, but I just never figured it out. So along with that, I want you guys to know about the compatible fonts for making stuff. So you generally have to have an IT ticket when you work for the tribe or in schools or whatever to download stuff. And so Interior Salish is where you get the font, or interiorsalish.com. And then once you have that, fonts that work good with it are going to be these ones: Charis, SIL, or I don't know how you say that, Aboriginal Serif, Aboriginal Sans, and Times New Roman. Sorry. And the reason I'm going to, so like, let's say you go in here and you have this crazy font, Staccato 2222 BT or whatever. So when you type regularly, all these look cool, right? They look fine. I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see it maybe a little bit better, hopefully. So those look cool. But once you go and you do a schwa, it looks different. Or a running man, it's not the same. And it drives me crazy because everything else looks cool, but not the schwa or the running man or whatever. So that's why I only use these 4 fonts with the Interior Salish keyboard. And if you are trying to get translations, like, we get hit with translations every week. Not me personally, but every language group does. And it can eat up a lot of time, especially like our Inselfchin elders, they're part-time. They're not full-time employees, and so we only have them for so long. For our Inchamfchin, they're also part-time. And so when we get translations, we don't mind them most of the time. Some things that are really rooted in English, whatever, are a headache to translate. Super simple things aren't so bad because it's just a quick Google, or not Google, a dictionary search or going through our materials. But like, if you have like a big, huge, long thing you want translated, it'll take a while to get translated with our elders, and it just eats up a lot of time. So for that sort of thing, I suggest like you take the time to learn language, so that way you can translate it once you get to that point, But even for me personally, I try not to make big abstract translations, even with my kids, because I just don't know if I'm correct, and I don't know. I'm just not a fluent elder or fluent speaker. And yeah, so those are the main points I had. I'm sorry if I was rambling through part of this. I just wanted to make sure I was hitting all the points that I wanted to hit before I'm gone and not working for the program anymore. So, which is next week. Yeah, so Leland, White,